So when I'm starting my research, I always like to start by getting some background information and thinking about search terms. You did this last year in English class when you were researching your isms. If you remember, we went to Britannica and Wikipedia to get some search terms, and we're going to do something similar here. But we're also going to be taking notes in EasyBib or whatever note form works for you and your teacher. Okay, so since we're going to start with Britannica, remember Britannica is good for big fact sort of information. So little kind of factual questions like how do rubber tappers do their work, how long have loggers been working in the Amazon, kind of details like that. So you want to be thinking about those kinds of things that you would like information on, and you can stop and write down some of those fact questions if you want. So to get to Britannica, you can go to the home page of the Northview Library homepage, which you can get to by going to the Northview page and then Media Center, and then you've got the databases under online resources and databases. You'll go there to get Britannica, and Britannica is really cool because it's got these different levels. Oh, and by the way, you may have to enter a username or password. That would be the ones that are on the posters throughout the school. So there's different levels of text in Britannica, if you remember. It's sometimes good to start with middle school level because so you don't get overwhelmed, and you can always switch to high school. I'm going to go ahead and start with high school, but I can show you the middle school later as well. So let's all just search Amazon and then select from recommended articles which one you want. And we want Amazon River, South America. Okay, so we're going to start with this big topic. And as you see, before we even get started, here are the different reading level texts. So if you want to start with level 2, you could certainly start there, and you see it has all the same information. It's just going to be more brief and at a little bit lower reading level. So it can be great to start with this and then bump up to this once you feel a little more confident as well. Okay, also, since we know we are going to take some background information from this source, let's go ahead and cite it right away, okay? So right over here under Cite, if you click right here, you can simply copy and paste this, and go into EasyBib as you're used to doing, and put it in your bibliography. I created a new project, and I'm just going to put it in bibliography. And notice for database sources, they offer an option to copy and paste because they know that many databases give you that source already. So we're going to put that right in there, and we're going to click Create Citation, and that is good to go. Okay, so we've already got it cited, it's in our project, and now we're ready to take some notes and gather some keyword terms. So I know that you guys have already done some reading about the Amazon, so you already have some ideas of the types of background information that you might be looking for. I'm going to use this target organizer like you did last year to gather some of these search terms so that from day to day as I'm searching in different databases, I don't forget all these different terms I've used. So just based on what I read in the textbook, I've got Amazon, loggers, and natives. I think I might be able to use terms like sustainable, indigenous tribes for the natives, and profit and economy for the loggers. So that even gives me a little direction as I'm going in to read Britannica. So now that I'm in Britannica, I'm going to use the menu over here to help me decide which parts to read, because as I look at this article, it's really long, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. So I'm going to try going to people, because I see that and I think, okay, that's where I'm going to get some indigenous tribes information. And now I'm going to go ahead and read this article. Okay, as I'm reading the article, I'm going to do two things. One is to gather some additional search terms for future searching in databases and maybe online. And I'm also going to take some notes of different things that I might want to save. So for example, like these two sentences about the population change, maybe I'd want to save those and I would take some notes in EasyBib. So as a result of just reading this one paragraph, I've taken a note in EasyBib here. I titled it, I selected the source, I put a quote in there, and notice we try to keep quotes to 1 or 2 sentences, and then I put it in my own words. So from 1990 to the early 20th century, the native population has declined from yada to yada because of yada to yada. Okay? So then my commentary, whoa, I had no idea there was such a huge drop. That's a third. And then there's me wondering, other things that I'm going to research. This is really important during the background part to think about what more do you need to find, what's going to be helpful. Okay, remember you can also color code things if you want. If you want to make all of your native notes in green, that might be helpful. Then you can create groups as you're going through. So in addition to taking notes in EasyBib, I've also added some things to my search terms organizer. I noticed the Oriente region was mentioned. That might help me search later. I added exploitation. I think that might be a good word to use when I'm searching. And population are some things that I could use. Okay, so as you're reading Britannica, try and go back and forth between the search term collection and taking a few notes. They will definitely come in handy later.